This is my History of Psych project. I started liking psychology at a young age. Most of this is because of the influence of my dad, David Schlesinger, who is a clinical psychologist himself. My dad always had a passion for helping others. The reason my dad became a clinical psychologist is because of the great impact his grandfather had on him. My great-grandfather, Donald Schlesinger, studied psychoanalytic psychology and forensic psychology. He went to Yale Law School and was actually the first psychologist to be hired as a professor in a law school. He taught the psychology of evidence and was influenced by psychologists before him such as Cattell, Freud, and Munsterberg. He partnered a lot of his studies with a man named Robert Maynard Hutchins. Hutchins also went to Yale Law School. He was an advocate for educational freedom, which he shared with Schlesinger. It is because of the work of these great psychologists I enjoy helping others as much as I do. I came to the University of Mary Washington in 2012. I knew I wanted to be a psychology major and met many professors who pushed me academically and influenced me directly. Two I will mention are Dr. Kolar and Dr. Stallman. Dr. Kolar went to grad school at the University of California, graduating with a PhD in social and personality psychology. He has research experience in environmental psychology, social perception, and personality judgment. While attending university, he was influenced by a man named David Funder. David Funder got his PhD from Stanford University. He worked on research with Kolar on interests of personality psychology. Funder also worked on research with Daryl Bem, studying delay of gratification, and John Rothman, studying behaviors, personality, judgment, self-fulfillment, and personality change. Funder's experience in personality psychology was in part because of the help from Elisa Todd. Working at the same university, Todd and Funder researched on more social and personality psychology. Ironically, Funder wrote the book Kolar uses for his personality of psychology class, titled The Personality Puzzle. Dr. Kolar was also influenced by Randall Colvin. Colvin exercises expertise in personality psychology. He is particularly interested in factors that validate a person's judgments. He and Funder also worked on many studies together. Dr. Stallman graduated with a PhD from the University of California at Los Angeles. He has main interests in neuroscience, animal learning, behavior, cognition, and ideas of determinism and free will. Stallman was influenced by a man named Seth Roberts. He and Roberts studied the effects of reward. Roberts also studied with other inspirational psychologists. He worked with Mark Holder and many experiments involving classical conditioning techniques. Stallman was also influenced by a man named Aaron Blaisdell. Blaisdell has particular interests in animal cognition and behavior, which was an interest to Stallman. The UMW Psych department influenced me and my personal interests. I love the idea of going into a career in experimental psychology, doing work in forensic psych, behavioral psych, personality psych, or cognitive psych. The university's philosophy department has also had an influential impact on me. Two professors that stand out the most are Dr. McGlefsky and Dr. Matsky. Dr. McGlefsky graduated from Georgetown University with a PhD in philosophy. She has research experience in aesthetics, ethics, women's studies, and political theory. McGlefsky previously worked at Mount Vernon College, where she met one of the most remarkable scholars, Diane Bao. Bao was an inspiration in much of McGlefsky's work from then on. Diane Bao and McGlefsky studied women's studies together. Another influential person in McGlefsky's life was Betty Friedan, another women's activist. Friedan co-founded the National Organization for Women in 1966. She also did research on stay-at-home mothers and wrote The Feminine Mystique, a very famous book. Dr. Madsky graduated with a PhD from Michigan State University. He has particular interest in ethics, including practical ethics, environmental ethics, medical ethics, and law. Many of the people who have influenced him in philosophy are Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, Descartes, Immanuel Kant, and Aristotle. As these philosophers made great changes in politics and ethics, Another philosopher who influenced him is Stanley Cavell. He has a PhD in philosophy from Harvard and is currently interested in the interconnectedness between analytic philosophy and continental philosophy. Philosophy was an unexpected but definitely worthwhile major. I am interested in ethics, particularly in the study of law. What else, do you ask? To answer that question, I go back to psychology. 2 experiments in psychology really interested me and made me realize I could combine my love for psychology and my passion for ethics. These experiments were the Stanford Prison Experiment and Milgram's Experiment. The Stanford Prison Experiment was conducted by Philip Zimbardo. Zimbardo got a PhD in social psychology from Yale University. His prison experiment concluded ideas of cognitive dissonance and the power of authority. He wrote a book called The Lucifer Effect, which elaborated in interests of conformity and obedience. Stanley Milgram influenced Zimbardo and his ideas of conformity. Milgram's experiment, which was also an influence of mine, was about viewing an authoritative figure as superior and whether or not the superior figure impacted behavior. Milgram was a student of Solomon Asch, who was an inspiration to many on behaviors and compliance. Asch was a Gestalt psychologist and had a PhD from Columbia University. He first was introduced to psychology by William James. Asch was exposed to Gestalt psychology by a man named Gardner Murphy. Murphy specializes in personality psych, social psych, and humanistic psych. He also received a PhD from Columbia University. All of these people and experiments have influenced me in ways I didn't acknowledge until now. Classes with Kolar, Stallman, Miglevsky, and Matsky have led me to believe in science, but also metaphysics. The brain is a wonderful world of the unknown. Thank you!